So obviously we've been talking about conversations. A conversation is when one person is talking and another person is listening. And I kind of hit this in one of my earlier examples. But now the important thing to pay attention to is exactly that. Pay attention. We have to be giving our kids our attention when they're talking to us. My wife shares an example of some of the problems that she sees parents running into. And we have this own problem in our house. And the problem is divided attention. She has parents who come to her preschool as volunteers or helpers or mommy day, daddy day kind of thing. And as the preschool teacher, she has to tell parents now to put their phones down and engage with their kids and to engage with the rest of the class. We as parents are starting to even get into the rhythm of, hey, if nothing is happening around me immediately, I'm just going to go to my phone. I'm just going to check emails real quick. I'm going to scroll through Facebook, whatever it might be. And that is grabbing our attention. We actually had to make a rule at our house years ago of no phones at the table because who was on their phone at dinner time? This big guy right here. It was before my kids had phones. They were in lower elementary school. Cell phones actually about that time in history were still kind of new. Actually, I'm old enough that I remember our very first cell phone. But I was doing some business, connecting with some youth group kids, doing, important things. I'm creating relationships with people that I'm in ministry with, but I was doing it at dinner time. And my wife said, put your phone down. No phones at dinner. We need to pay attention to each other, the people around this table. So how many times are you engaged in something and your kids want to talk, or it's an opportunity for you to be with them and to start a conversation, but you don't because, again, you're involved in something else. Or even if you are getting into a conversation with your kids and then you're like, hey, I hear you. And then you're jumping on your computer or you're making a grocery list or you're doing something else. And again, you're giving them divided attention. If you want to create really healthy on-ramps to conversation, then give your kids the attention they deserve. Because when you do that, you also get to do this. This is super cool. You get to show them how important God thinks they are. Because when your kids are little, heck, even when they're teenagers, it's a really weird concept to understand that God loves you when he's not physical, he's not here, we can't see him. What does that look like for God to love me? We can show them that. When you, mom, put away whatever work you're doing or stop doing the dishes or whatever it is, and you turn and you look at your kid and you give them your 100% full attention, Dad, when you stop whatever chore you're working on and you look at your kids and you give them 100% of your full attention, you are modeling to them what it would be like if God was real and was spending time with them. God wouldn't be giving them their divided attention. He wouldn't be working on something else while he's talking to you. He loves us completely, and we are the most important thing to him. And we get a chance to model that to our kids. Or if you're doing something, invite your kids to do it with you while you're having that conversation. But just make sure you're paying attention to each other. Make sure that you are paying attention to them. Super important, super great opportunity to teach them how much God loves them by showing them how much you love them.